we saw those steep falls in Asia overnight. Europe has followed on. What's going on? There doesn't seem to be a solid reason for this.
No, you don't need a reason. This is mankind at its rawest edge. This is, we're talking about what's the definition of panic is when rationality goes out of the window, the fundamentals go out of the window. What do I care what the value of Vodafone is? If no one wants to buy Vodafone shares, I just have to sell to the highest bidder, and there's no bid in the market. That's the real problem, because everyone, even those who do have money, they sit back and go, hey, I'm not going to be the brave one here. Why do I have to go out and start risking my capital when no one else is committing to the market? And that's this is the whole flow, and I don't believe the politician can do anything about it either. I think we're going to unfortunately just have to go back and knuckle down over the next couple of days and then see if we can find some kind of bid in the market. It ain't happening. We have got it's like a forest fire. It's burning out of control, and you can pour all the water you want on it. No, hang on. You can put all the water on it, but let it burn to the ground, and then we can start growth again. Keep having this intervention, it ain't going to solve anything. Look, what matters the most is the market. The market is telling us government intervention matters nothing.
Okay, Tom, can I just jump in quickly? It's Andrew Stevens in Hong Kong here. I was just speaking to an equity strategist in Tokyo who says that there's a lot of very good companies who are now very undervalued in Tokyo, and I'm sure it's the same anywhere you look at the moment. The point is that, no, come on, there's fear and greed which runs the markets. We've got the fear thing going on, yes, we all know that, but there are a lot of people out there who are looking with an eye to a bargain now, who have deep, stout hearts, who are going to get in there, and so you can have this sort of thing going on as well. I mean, this is not complete and utter capitulation, is it?
Well, isn't that what we want? Isn't that how bear market lows are formed, on capitulation? Randolph Hearst once said, value is what you're prepared to pay. Right now, they are not prepared to pay the fiddler. So I say, let the market find its own equilibrium, and let's work from a proper base here. Rather than this two-step approach, we're getting in a little bit here, we get a little bit of government intervention. It ain't working. The market is, no doubt, there's value in the market. But until someone begins to buy, we're not finding it. And we haven't seen that yet. Having said that, we are getting mighty close. We're getting excessive volume. We're getting a lot of panic now. I have no doubt that within the next 48 to 72 hours, we will find a low. But right now, we just got to let the market do what it wants to do.
Tom, we're ganging up on you. It's Quest here in the London studio. The problem is, we've got, why would you buy today if tomorrow you can pick up the same stock cheaper? We are now into a classic debt deflationary cycle in which, of course, there's no reason to pick up the stock when you might get it next week at an even more bargain price. Agree, yes or no?
Agree, yes, no doubt. You're absolutely right. I just know a little bit more about the market from the point of view of being on the trading floor, and I'd say we are going to have a phenomenal bounce. So you've got to differentiate between being a short-term trader and a long-term investor. If you're a long-term investor, you've got to look very carefully about where you place your money, because we could be looking at Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley being nationalized over the weekend for all I care.
You really think, at what point then do you believe policymakers, I mean, government officials basically do get a handle on this? Because I happen to believe that we're bouncing around somewhere near the bottom at the moment. I'm not terribly concerned whether we go down 5%, up 5%. We're in that territory at the moment where a bit worse, a bit better. What's your thought?
My thought is exactly yours. I concur. We are near a tradable low in the market, but do you really believe that this is going to be the end of it? Just 2 seconds ago, you said that we are in for a long slope for the next couple of years. So if you are a long-term investor, you don't want to commit to this kind of market right now. You want to step back and perhaps do a little bit of window shopping. Look out some of the stocks that you do like, but there's so much uncertainty. And I want to ask you a question. Do you really think that the policymakers do have the ability to stem the flow of selling? Because I don't believe they have, not for 1 second. So talking about G7 is just this academic talk that has no merit. You see, that's the academics talking about the market. We're out here in the thick of it, trying to take the orders, and there's no one buying.
But Tom, sorry, can I just jump in here? But, I mean, sorry, Richard, if I can override you just for a moment. I mean, yes, OK, we've seen very little response, positive response to what policymakers have done so far. But we are talking about the 7 or 8 richest countries in the world with, if they choose so, to have unlimited sort of barrels of money to tackle this by guaranteeing money markets, by injecting and by nationalising the banks. Well, yes, I know, at what cost? But this isn't the question. The question at the moment is stabilising the markets right now. And then the future, then we look at that. But so on that level, yes, the G7, yes, the IMF and the World Bank this week as well can actually or do have the power to turn things around, don't you think?
Yeah, your argument, yeah, you're right. But at what cost? Is it the cost of saving the stock market? Is this what we're looking for? Or are we trying to weed out the malinvestments of the last 10, 15 years so we once again can start afresh and build real growth that hasn't been built on and stepped on this phantom pie in the sky, that we actually have real growth? That's what I believe in. So I say let the market do what it wants to do. Policymakers, please step out. The government has had an awful track record of running companies, and yet we are trying to nationalize now some of the biggest companies in the world. And I say that's a very bad idea.